Hello, hello, greetings everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Random Encounters, the improv cartooning show where I don't know what I'm going to draw and neither do you, but we'll find out together. Stan here as usual, and back from a week away. I was out of town last week visiting family. I hope some of you stopped by and enjoyed the um, Independence Day special I kind of put together and ran as a non-live episode. Hello, Dale. Hello, Lala. Thank you all for joining me. Anyway, I'm back again. You can't keep a good stand down, or me either. And I am back to do another hour or so of improv cartooning for you all. And I don't see any reason to delay that. Hello, Steve Miller. I don't know how long you can stick around either, but I'm glad you're here. So let's get right to it. As you all know, the way this works, or as I guess most of you know, I know Dale and Lala and Steve know, the way this works is I've got a couple of random encounter tables here, just like you use in a tabletop RPG, and I'm going to use a die rolling app to randomly select a character and a situation, and I'm going to draw that. So I guess I have a loose idea what it might be, but I don't really know what's coming up until we go over to the die rolling app, which we're going to do right now. And here we go. As you know, just as a sample, the way I do this is I roll the die once, twice, and the third time is the number that comes up. So it will go something like this: once, twice, third time, and then the number would be 2. And we'd use that. Lala says, Gretchen and I are still doing the daily sketch challenge inspired by me. I'm so glad. I can't wait to see some of your results. I hope you're having fun. Clearly, if you're still doing it, you're having fun, and that's the main point. Have fun doing some drawings. All right, so here we go. First one. What's the first drawing going to be? Once, twice, third time. Come on. Third time is a 1. I almost didn't want to do that because the third time went off slowly. It's a lizard folk. So we're going to have some kind of lizard folk. Lizard creature doing what? Once, twice, third time is the charm, a 2. And that means a lizard folk is going to be at a backyard barbecue. All right. It's funny because when I put these lists together, I have some idea of, oh, these would be good selections. I have a rough idea. I don't want to think about it too much. I have a rough idea what I might do, but I hadn't really thought about the lizard folk at the barbecue. So let's just kind of turn off the table and figure out what our lizard folk is going to be having at the barbecue. What, I don't know, what are... Ooh, why is that coming out so thin? It's okay. What do lizards eat? Like insects? What would a lizard folk have on the grill? What do you think? And insects are one idea, but not particularly cartoony. And I know some cartoonists, a lot of the cartoonists I look up to, don't even do sketches, but I still am certainly at the point where if I don't, my comics don't come out the way I want them to. So don't need a lot of details, but there we go. Um, we've still got a little while before I have to put it up there. I leave it open to you guys to give me some insight. What do you think a lizard folk would have on the barbecue? Put it in the chat if you think of anything. All right, so let's say I like to do when I'm sketching. I just do large shapes, right? The rough shape of what the thing would be. That's all you really need. The more uh, the more confident you are, the less you need to put up to know that what you what a uh, rough shape is going to look like when you're done with it. A fly being barbecued, it'd have to be a big fly. See Steve's idea. A halfling on a spit. Well, I'd have to rework that. That'd have to be a big. I, oh, can I do that? Can I put that in there? I could. Yo, you know what, Dale? You may like this too. It might look more like a gnome. Okay, there we go. I like it. I like that idea. Steve, good idea. Dale, thanks for seconding it to get me to overcome my hesitancy. And we're going to come in, we're going to start putting in the shapes. Now, again, as I say, when you're drawing, after you've got your sketch down, it's important that you start with lines you're confident in so that you can move through the rest of the sketch quickly. I'll tell you, one of the things I've had recently is my goal in doing these is to have them come out quick, right? Not least of which so that I can do more of them and it's more fun to watch. So I'm going to try to jump right into it and trust myself. And we're going to have this. Our chef is going to be basting his barbecue. All right, maybe now I'm coming into the point where having those thick lines is actually a little. A little troublesome. Those thick lines was making it difficult for me to get any details in there. To come in with a lighter, smaller line here. I'm gonna open the line, the size of the brush back up here as it comes around. This guy just likes the smell of it. Mmm. Let's give them some fangs so they look more monstrous. Maybe I'll give him a baseball cap because it's back here at barbecue. Give him a D&D cap with an ampersand on it. And he's holding the plate because he is ready to get him some barbecue. And his tail back there. Make the brush even a little thicker as I get the smoke off the barbecue. Mmm. Oh, you know what? I'm going to erase that because I think I'm going to want that guy on the right side to be the one that's saying something at the end. Mmm. Give him a little Hawaiian shirt. Little aloha shirt for the barbecue. Let's turn that sketch off so now you can see it a little better. And then we get in here and come back, make the brush a little smaller again, and make sure I add a little more detail do my halfling on the grill. Not enough room for a spit, Dale, but or Steve, but there you go. Yo, let's come back in. This guy's looking a little. If the first guy's going to have a shirt, maybe the second guy should be wearing some kind of top too. That looks so good. Guess I could take the whole thing. Lower it on the page just a little bit. Now I'm trying to think of a good, just one good line. One good punchliney kind of thing to put on there. Mm-hmm. No, not really coming up with anything. That's well, you know what? Let's do it. Since we're going to quickly add some colors on this, let my brain ruminate a little on that while I'm adding the colors. And if you have any ideas, like what would one guy be saying to the other? Maybe asking him about his secret sauce. That's what my brain was trying to come up with, was some kind of line about the sauce, but couldn't. Nothing was coming to me. Again, because I use this gloaming color, this gloaming brush for my colors, I can do this very quick, sketchy coloring, and it looks like a crayon or a marker, and it pulls it off pretty well. Quite bright enough. There we go. Let's see. Our guy here has a nice some kind of nice summery festive colors they're wearing. I think I actually have a shirt that looks like this. In fact, I know it. I've worn it. I've worn it on. I've worn it on the show before. Okay. Let's quickly get through this. And I'm still not coming up with anything funny for him to say. It might just have to be no. I mean no, it's not the color I want. Come back to that because I do want that color to be for the barbecue itself. Quickly picking some colors here. Just something to make him stand out. Maybe like a lighter blue for the hat. All right, let's come back here, and I think maybe something like, yeah, no one. Makes raised halfling. Sazaz seems like a good name for a lizard folk. All right, no one makes braised halfling like you, says. And one more little thing I might add in here. Come back and have him say, hatched to barbecue. You know how we say born to blah blah? Well, these guys are hatched, they're not born. Did I put that on the wrong layer? I did. Oh well, I'll just have to be careful where I put the coloring because I put that hatch to barbecue on the color. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm good. Okay, good. There we go. Come here. That up. And then we'll just put a little color on. Oh, no, don't go over there. Put a little color on the grass. And we got a good first drawing. And relatively quick. So we'll stick a nice little signature on the bottom there. No one makes braised halfling like you, Saz. Dot 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 ba dot dot. Boop. I'm looking at what we got going. I've got a lot going on in the chat. Flybo, is he free range? That would be funny. Gluten free or organic? That would be funny. A lot to work with. A lot to work with here. Next time, or sometimes I take these drawings and I redo them in a more finished and refined method. If I ever use this one, I'll go and consider some of these extra things I might add. Anyway, there we go. Our first drawing of the evening: lizard folk having a backyard barbecue. Yeah, way to go, us. Good work, team. I'm gonna put that aside for a second to have a little stretch and a little sip of my drink. So Lala, you say you've been doing the daily sketch challenge. What kind of things have you been sketching? And for those who don't know, I was visiting Lala on her show a few weeks back, and we talked about how drawing should be fun, and that we did a basic drawing lesson, and I said to Lala that she was doing fine. What she needed mostly was to feel comfortable with what she was doing. And she said that she was going to take on a challenge of just doing a quick little drawing every day, each morning before she got started. Take out either a little notebook or a piece of paper and just do a little drawing. Draw something each day. Do a little doodle. And Lala, you're saying that you're having fun, and I'm so happy to hear that. Have you been sharing it anywhere online? You don't have to tell us here where, unless you want to, but you can tell me. Tell me later. All right, let's go here. We're going to come back here, and we're going to turn that off. Or turn back on the table. Turn that off. And it's time to get our second... do our second drawing. That's what I'm trying to say. Second drawing time. Let's see. Started with plants because it's easier for me. Great. Yes. No. Everyone feels different things that they're comfortable drawing, and plants are a great thing. I was talking to a friend of mine here in the Seattle area who's working on an app, a game of growing plants and using them to decorate your home. And she was telling me how much fun she was having drawing the plants and learning to do little animated versions of the plants for the app. And it did. It looked like a lot of fun. So I totally get why that might be a good place for you to start. And maybe just spend the whole month doing it. Yeah, spread your wings a little. Try other things too. But that sounds good. Watercolor here and there. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lala, you're really going for it. Yeah, no, private Discord. I'm not pushing you to go public with this. That's okay. Share it with your friends. In fact, share it just with your family. Do it for fun. Drawing's all about having fun, and that's why I do this, because it amuses me, and hopefully it amuses other folks too. All right. Speaking of amusing folks, let's go and do a second roll here on the dice. So, once, twice, third time is a charm. Number 4 is our who. or who is a kobold? Okay. What is that kobold doing? Let's find out, shall we? Once, twice, and third time is a charm, and it's number 3. That kobold is in a heat wave. Again, I had a lot of images for some of these in the heat wave. Kobold wasn't one of them. Kobold, I had him up there because kobolds are such a uh, uh, central kind of D&D creature, but they it's kind of hard for me to figure out some exciting things for they do. They're kind of goofy creatures. All right, kobolds in a heat wave. I see my camera has decided to go all funky again. That's not good. Thankfully, you don't have to see that. It's just a little blurry image of me in the corner. Okay, so let's see. I know. Okay, I got it. I got it. Now, the other thing is we've just done uh, lizard folk. So kobolds are also lizardy kind of creatures. So there's going to be some similarities here. They're smaller and a little goofier. Mm, that maybe a little too sloppy as I'm thinking about what to do over here. Okay, that's okay. Again, you see how just some quick lines can really give an idea for what's going on. Um, if you think in large shapes, you can put down just a few swippy lines, and I think you've already got a good idea of what's going on. Hey, Marianne, thank you for joining. Good morning to you. right? Quick little lines, and I can do that. And as I say, you've probably got a pretty good idea of what I'm drawing, just like that. Learning to be that loose with your drawings and thinking in those uh, um, quick large shapes, and then taking the time to go in uh, and put the details in. It's kind of, in fact, that I think is one of the big keys that a lot of people don't get to drawing is that they want to put the finished stuff in too quickly. Might allow yourself the time to. I want those eyes to really say exhausted and tired. So I'm going to have them pointing a little wall-eyed. Yeah, but if you just take your time and think in big picture ways, you'll help yourself out to figuring out what your drawing needs, and you can look at it and very quickly see if something is or isn't feeling like it's in the right position, and if it is, then great. And if it's not, move it around a little. Put another quick shape in there. And working digitally, the advantage is you can very easily just erase what you had previously and it's gone. When you're working with on pen and paper, you can erase it eventually, but it's harder, particularly during the sketch phase, to get stuff out of the out of your way. But then a lot of people, when I'm doing drawings before, a lot of people will sometimes get confused because I can ignore what I've written what I put in that I know I don't want, and so I can leave it on there. And then people don't know exactly what to ignore and what counts. All right. And here again, kind of the advantage of drawing digitally, I'm going to take advantage of is I'm going to draw the whole thing in and then erase what I don't need. How do I get this thickness set up? Um, it is so. If you look over on the left side of the screen, Marianne's asking, "How do I get the thicknesses for the line set up?" Uh, you'll see over on the left side, we've got these two little bars. There's a little square in the middle. Here, I'm going to move a slider so you can see where I'm talking about. That's the lower one. This is the upper one. And as you can see, as I move that, it is percentages. But in Procreate, you have the option to choose the sizes you want. Those lines are sizes I've chosen, and I like this 12. So I like this. I think it's 20% one. and a 10% one, and a 6% one, and a 3% one. Those are the sizes I found after monkeying around with it, trying uh, different drawings and moving them around. Those are the sizes I like best. So I made pre settings for each one, and for each type of brush. So if I go to gloaming, I'll go back here to the gloaming that I like. You'll see that these are different. I only have two. I have one set at about 10% and one set at about 50%. Those are the two sizes I like best. And I can still move it around as much as I want, but I know that if I go and I click that button, I will get a size that I specifically like using. And all of that is just experimentation. You try different ones and you find the ones that suit you best. It's kind of like any kind of art or crafting uh, implement. You try different ones and you find the ones that fit your style or that you find allow you to do what you want most easily, and you use those. And as you're um, you find that suddenly after you've done it a while, you now are able to switch back and forth and even try new ones you've never tried before and have an idea for how you might want to use them. So yeah, like so many things, it's a matter of experience and practice. And then once you've done it, though, it seems like magic, right? It seems like magic to everyone else. How could you possibly have figured that out? How can you do that so quickly? And the answer is I've spent a lot of time practicing. Which it's not really a secret. Everyone knows that. Just we all want there to be a secret. I know. I same thing when I talk to my other artist friends. I want to know what's the secret, and the secret always turns out that they've practiced it a lot, and they put in trial and error, and came to a conclusion that I hadn't reached yet. These guys are just miserable because it's so hot. And being lizards, they are cold blooded, which means that when it gets hot, they just boil. But thankfully, all it takes is a little kiddie pool. They can cool themselves down a little. A couple of drinks, little kiddie pool. And here we go. Another trick. I've talked about this before, but in Procreate, if you hold your brush still at the end and you draw a line, it will make it a straight line, and you can take advantage of that to make it look like you've just got this steady hand that can draw straight lines. How do you do that? The answer is, well, you cheat a little. All right. right, let's come in here and add just a little extra detail. I'm going to turn the sketch off now so I can look at what my lines have done and add some extra lines in there to help give things a little more texture and feeling. Another thing that you will learn as you do some more drawings, how what little additions add information that you want. Doing these little lines here, and what that does is give that sense of there's a space between those two. It's a feeling of almost like a little bit of a shadow. Same here, these straight lines give that feeling of the space between the water and the pool. You don't technically need them, but they help to convey an information, and eye, your viewer's eye, then fills in that information, that it translates it into more detail than you've actually put in. Oh yeah, I want to put that back in so I can put in the sun. Let's have a thin line here for the sun, very thin line. Again, like I did with the straight lines, you do the same thing with the circle. And suddenly, it looks like I know how to draw a circle. But really, all I know is the tricks of my tool. There we go. That's looking pretty good. All right, let's come back here. I think we need to once again put in a background with some grass. All right. Looking nice. Looking nice. And now let's come in and add some quick colors. We'll go back to that gloaming brush that I like. And our kobolds are going to be brownish. I don't know. Kobolds, there's not a one clear color. Sometimes kobolds are given dragonish colors, so there'll be some red, some blue, some green. Sometimes they are just made kind of brown, lizardy color, which is what I think I'm going to use here. But like so much in all of this, you can do what you want, and no one can tell you you're wrong. If it looks good to you, then it's the right thing. I'm going to give him a purple tongue. Oh, I don't know if you can hear, but we got the kids screaming in the park again. Nice day outside. I don't begrudge them. They're running around and screaming. What else are you going to do on a nice day in Seattle? I think I'm going to come in and make their eyes just a little yellowish. Man, it's a hot day, say the kobolds. And here's one. Last time I did it, the first drawing, I think the colors came out good. This time the colors are a little strong, so when I'm done with this, I'm going to drop the opacity and make them a little lighter. But in the meantime, these are good starting versions. I have a tendency to just think in these strong colors and then want the final result to be more a little subtler than what it comes out. And yeah, so no, that's not right. Maybe more like that. Yeah. I think I need some color there. Well, that's why I didn't want that top color to be blue, because the water's going to be blue. Alright, gotta fix that a little bit. Make the top part of the pool a darker blue. And that way you can see the color of the water. That's just a fairly quick lesson on you. Sometimes it doesn't really matter that you get colors specifically right. You want a good contrast. You want there to be a clear differentiation in color between one thing and another thing. All right, and then let's come back here and no. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And we've got some kobolds in a heat wave. Come back here. Stick my little stand on it. Let's go back to that color layer. Like I said, what I'm going to do now is Look at those colors; they're very strong colors. So I'm going to drop the opacity. Let's see, maybe 10 or 15%. 90, it's 80, 85. 85 is not enough. Yeah, right around 90 in this case. And really, that's doing is allowing the white. It's making it more. When opaque means see through, so it's allowing you to see through the colors to the white behind it. But the effect is that it softens the colors. It's like watering them down a little. I made that 80. So again, that's full version. If I dropped it, come on back here. If I dropped it to 50, you see the color just drains out of it. But if I keep it up around 80%, still got those colors I like. They're not quite as overbearing as they are here at 100%. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, there's our kobolds in a heat wave. Look at that. Once again, I get to an hour and I've only finished 2 drawings. I get carried away. All right, but let's do one more anyway. Why? Because I'm having fun and we're all here. If you all have to go, it's okay. If you're having fun, though, let's hang around and do one more drawing. So I'm going to turn that one off, turn on the tables again, and see what we get here for a quick roll. Once, twice, third time's a charm. 6. Oh, it's going to be adventurers. Always 6 is the adventurers. So what's the adventurers going to once, twice, third time, and it's another 6. Wow. Double 6s. That's at the beach. Adventurer at the beach. At the beach was one of the first ones I did on this show. At the beach as a choice. I forget what I had. I forget who was at the beach. I don't remember. But I decided to bring it back because it's summertime, and it's always enough time for other people to go to the beach. So we're going to turn on round 3. We're going to go to sketches. And we're got to turn off the tables. And we're going to go to the beach. Now, again, this is going to be somewhat similar. That umbrella I had that's a very beachy accoutrement. All right, let's just put in a basic beach setting, right? Again, thinking in big shapes. And we've got a line here coming down into the water, a little wavy line to show water, and it already kind of looks like a beach. If I wanted to, so I'm gonna actually zoom in here for a second. If I was going to take more time, let's have a block off a different shape. I might do it like this, so I had water here and the beach back here, and then I could have people in the foreground and people in the background, and we could have a lot of fun. But I'm going to spare you all that. Maybe if I was doing a 1 drawing for the day thing, I'd go for that. But let's see here. I think I want this. We'll move it maybe a little over here so that we got more beach and less water. And then we had, adventurers. Okay, so I think I want to have a not even going to say what it is. That's something in my mind, but the idea is to have adventurers at the beach. Hmm. You know what? I'm finding myself here thinking of something that would be funnier as a one or two part gag, but I'm going to draw it anyway. So we won't really get the full extent of it. All right, that's enough. I don't know if you can get a drow who hates sunlight. Again, that's a good gag. I'm going to. I don't know why you'd want to use your sword on the beach, except when it's kind of like when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you're a fighter, the sword is what you want for every job. The thing I find funny is giving the giving the warrior some parts of his armor off, but he can't take it all off because what if they get attacked? Same thing for a wizard here. Mm, I don't, I don't know. Beginning to like the idea of the elf with curly hair, but that wasn't working for me. I I think if I were the wizard here, I'd be playing keep the ball away from the fighter with that big sword. But feel like I'm missing an opportunity for something in here, but I don't know what. And it's still not a drow who hates sunlight. Tell you one of the things I'm finding, I was trying to begin to think about that more. I need to be more purposeful when drawing these characters. Maybe get in a few more, you know, women, people of other skin colors rather than just pale pink. Oh, I know. Okay, let's turn this sketch back on and we can add a little halfling up here, just kind of running on top of the ball or balancing. That's fun. That's a fun thing to do at the beach. I don't know if if you've been watching for a while, uh, and I don't mean today. It's over several shows. I think you'll begin to see some of the quick shortcuts I have. The uh, the feet that come like this. I've done that several times today, even. Those are the kind of things you learn after you have been drawing for a while. Just little shortcuts that make it easier to get your idea across. I'd give him a little beard here, and he can definitely be a gnome because it's what is it, Nell? Go gnome or go home? All right, now I come back in here and just as I did before, I'm going to add a little few extra lines in here just to make things clearer and more fun. But I think that's good. Yeah. All right. Adventurers on the beach. Let's add some colors to that. Right? Okay. So and I don't know why I made that big and sound. It's kind of goofy, really. Need to reset that orange. I think this orange is just a little too dark orange. Oh, come on. Kind of a cut off jeans color there. Like blue t-shirt. Okay, that's looking pretty good. some sand for the beach. Another bright blue sky. Again, see how even though I'm putting that in a haphazard way, it doesn't take away from the fact that the scene looks good. And it gives the hint that maybe there might be some clouds back there, or I don't know. It looks fine. That again, something that people that are beginner drawers think that, well, if I'm going to draw it, I've got to get the blue in everywhere, and it's got to go up to every line. You don't really. You just have to kind of give the impression of a beautiful summer's day. And in places where it went over, just recolor it, touch it up. Again, that's one of the beauties of working digitally, but you can even do that on pen and paper. All right, and we have adventurers on the beach. That looks like fun. I think I want to have a day like that on the beach. Hey, Roger, glad to see you again. All right, so there is our third drawing for the night. We've got Adventures on the Beach. Looking pretty good. Before that, Roger, because you miss it, I know you don't know. Before that, we had Kobolds in a Heat Wave. And, come on. And we had Lizard Folk at a Backyard Barbecue. So it's a very summer fun day here on Random Encounters. Let's come back to that third one again. I think that I once again want to come to the colors layer and drop that opacity just a little bit. Maybe not. I went 20% last time. This is maybe 10%. Because it's full, everything's really strong, those colors. Let's just drop them down 10 or 15%. And I think that looks a little better. All right, well, there we go. Adventurers on the beach. You know what? Another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to come back to my lines layer, and I'm just going to add some little dots to make it look a little sandier, make the sand look a little grittier. And what else? I'm noticing little things I just want to add a little more here and a little more there. You know, I don't want to be too precious, but you know, we've had some fun here. I want this to be as good as it can be. There we go. That'll do it. All right. So there we go. Another fun hour and a little bit of drawing random improv cartooning. I had a lot of fun. I hope all of you did. And I'm really glad that so many of you were able to join us tonight. Dale and Lala and Marianne and Steve, who was here earlier, and Roger, who is here now. And I saw the numbers of people on the viewing were higher too. So those of you who popped in and just kind of silently enjoyed it, I'm thankful you were here too. Thank you everyone for joining me. We had a good time. I will be back next week with another Random Encounters show. We'll have another a new set of random encounter tables. We'll see what the dice have me draw. In the meanwhile, if you like this, please click like, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, please click the like or give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And remember that you can. There's a Facebook page for Random Encounters Live, and if you want to see more of the art I do, I post almost all of the drawings I do that are publicly available on my Instagram feed. So you can go over there, instagram.com/Stanex, and join up if you want to see what's going on. And if you want to support what I'm doing and kind of help me to spend more of my time doing drawings like this, and you want a little extra, little freebie, behind the scenes look at what's going on, sometimes videos and sometimes stickers and other niceties, you can join me over on Patreon, patreon.com/Stanex. And we've got a fun little group there, and I'm thinking of ways to improve it all the time. It takes me a while to implement them sometimes, but I'm always working on it. And it's a great place to have a direct line of contact, and as I say, to support the things I'm doing and encourage me to do more of them. So until next time, thank you all for coming. I appreciate you, and do like Lala every day. Just take a little time, 5 minutes, and do a little doodling. Drawing is fun. This is all about drawing being fun. You should have that kind of fun too. So until next time, I will see you later. Take care. Bye, everyone.